let's talk about the future. The world of supply chain is about to go through a massive change. And 2026? That's the year it's all going to look different. So the real question is, how do you make sure your career isn't just surviving, but actually thriving? Okay, let's get into the action plan that's going to secure your spot at the top. I want you to just picture it for a second. It's 2026. The entire industry has evolved. Have you? Now, this isn't just some what-if scenario. It's the real challenge that every single one of us is facing right now. The good news, the prep work starts today. So what's actually driving this huge transformation? Well, first up is technology, and it is moving at a mind-blowing pace. We're talking about things like AI becoming a fundamental part of the job and real-time visibility becoming a must-have to compete, not just a nice little bonus. And at the same exact time, the global landscape is just constantly changing. Companies are totally rethinking their supplier networks. They're starting to care a lot more about resilience than just saving a few bucks. Seriously, the map of global trade is being completely redrawn as we speak. And if that wasn't enough, risk itself is getting way more complicated. As all of our digital systems get bigger and more connected, so do the threats, like cybersecurity. It's a whole new level of what if that everyone in supply chain has to get a handle on. So here's the crucial takeaway, the big mindset shift. We have to stop thinking about getting ready for the next big disruption, because the new normal is disruption. The whole game has changed from just recovering after a crisis to building a system and a career that actually gets stronger with continuous change. Okay, so we've seen the big picture forces that are shaking things up, but what does all of this actually mean for your job, your career path? Well, you're at a crossroads, and the choices you make right now are what will define your success in 2026 and beyond. This comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old playbook, just relying on your daily routine, staying in your own little department, that's just not going to cut it anymore. The 2026 playbook is all about looking ahead, jumping on projects with other teams, and being the person who brings new skills to the table. This quote right here really hits the nail on the head. It's such a powerful reminder that this isn't just something for the company to worry about. The change really truly starts with each and every one of us. So if we all agree that we have to evolve, the next question is how? Well, we're done with the why, now we're getting to the how. This is your personal toolkit, a really straightforward action plan to start building the career you want. Here they are, the 6 core steps we're going to walk through. I want you to think of these as the pillars that are going to hold up your career for years to come. And we're going to break down each one with a concrete action you can take right away. First up, digital fluency. Listen, you don't need to become a data scientist, but you absolutely have to speak the language of technology and data so you can make smarter, faster decisions. The action step here is super simple and immediate. Pick a tool, Power BI, Tableau, whatever, and just find a beginner's course. You can totally get this done in the next 3 months. Now, step 2 builds right on top of that. See, it's not just about knowing how to use the tools. It's about using them to think analytically. The goal is to go from just reporting numbers to actually interpreting what those numbers mean for the business. The best way to do it? Make it a habit. Just spend a little bit of time each week practicing a simple forecast or a safety stock calculation. That confidence comes from repetition. All right, step 3 is all about getting that official stamp of approval on your skills. In a field this competitive, a professional certification can really make you stand out. It signals that you are deeply committed to your craft. So your action is to just make a decision. Pick one certification that you're going to go after this year. And if you're kind of wondering where to even start, here are some of the heavy hitters in the industry. You've got CPIM, that's Certified in Planning and Inventory Management, CSCP, the Certified Supply Chain Professional, which gives you that broad end-to-end view, and CLTD, for logistics, transportation, and distribution. ASCM also has these great micro-certifications if you want to focus on a really specific skill. Next up is a huge one, and it's a soft skill, adaptability. The best people in this field don't just wait for change to happen to them, they see it coming. And you know a fantastic way to build this muscle? Volunteer for a project that's outside of your normal job. It forces you to learn new ways of thinking and breaks you out of those old, rigid routines. Okay, step 5 is all about keeping your finger on the pulse of the industry. You want to be that person on your team who has a sense of what's coming around the corner. And this doesn't have to be some huge time suck. Just build a small, consistent habit. One industry article or one event each month. It's completely manageable. And finally, step 6 is where we tie it all together. Investing long-term means you become the architect of your own career. Instead of just letting your career happen to you, you start making intentional, strategic decisions. And the best way to kick that off is to create a simple 12-month development plan. And look, this is what a simple plan can look like. It's not some crazy 50-page document. It just maps one of our focus areas to each quarter. Quarter 1, you nail that Power BI course. Quarter 2, you start studying for the CSCP. It's totally achievable, and it creates this amazing momentum that just builds on itself all year long. So we've laid out the challenges, we've gone through the action plan, and we've given you the toolkit. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it? What is your next move? This quote right here, this is the goal. This is the kind of professional that the future is crying out for. By following this plan, you're not just hoping for the best. You are actively turning yourself into the kind of person who will lead the most successful supply chains of tomorrow. And remember, this is bigger than just you. Your personal growth creates this incredible ripple effect. Every new skill you build, every bit of insight you gain, it doesn't just make your career stronger. It makes our entire supply chain community tougher, more resilient, and ready for whatever comes next. So I'm going to leave you with this. Don't just close this out and move on with your day. Look back at those 6 steps. Which one are you going to start with? What is the very first small action you can put on your calendar right now? Your 2026 self is going to thank you for it.